There are different models for cloud computing, and basically there are three main models, depending on the level of services you will rely upon from your partner. So on the left of the picture, you can see a first situation which corresponds to the traditional model. You are not using any cloud, any form of cloud services. Simply you rely on your own infrastructure to have all the services you need. So it means that you're controlling the full software stack from the infrastructure level, operating system level, the middleware, so basically database servers, maybe LDAP servers, Active Directories, and things like that, and the application as well. So in a traditional model, you have to take care of everything, and it means that you have to face, as well as capital expenditure, so investment in capital and operational costs. If you decide to outsource the management of your basic infrastructure, I mean the physical infrastructure and the operating system layer, then you're entering the cloud services and in particular, you're following the infrastructure as a service cloud model. So in this model, you rely on an external partner to manage your infrastructure for you, and you're still managing the upper layer, the upper services in your software and application stack. So you take care of the application management, you take care of the middleware management, but you rely on an external partner to manage the infrastructure and the operating systems. At the right of this diagram, you have another approach, another cloud model, which is a software as a service model. In this model, you entirely rely on your outsourcing or cloud partner to provide you not only with an infrastructure, but also with a service, a full working service. So when you think of Google Docs, for instance, or Google Classroom, you're typically in a software as a service model, because Google is offering you a fully working, fully operational application, and you don't have to manage anything, nor in the infrastructure level, nor operating system level, not at the application level itself. You're just a user of the service, of the application service the provider is offering you. And then there is an intermediate model, which is called platform as a service, where the cloud provider will offer you some tools that you can use to build your own application. So the cloud provider will take care of the underlying infrastructure, operating system, and basic tools. And it's then up to you to assemble those tools and to build and to customize and to enrich those tools to create your own application. I tend to think that the two most common models of cloud are infrastructure as a service and software as a service. Also, although there are quite some interesting initiatives in terms of platform as a service. You can also differentiate cloud services by looking at who is using actually and who is sharing the underlying infrastructure. If the physical infrastructure is shared between multiple customers, then we'll talk about public cloud services. So in public cloud services, the physical infrastructure is shared between multiple stakeholders, multiple customers. So there is an isolation of the services at the virtual resource level, but all those virtual resources still share a common infrastructure, physical infrastructure. If for some reason, like security reason, you don't want to share the infrastructure with others, then you're coming to a private cloud type, where the infrastructure is reserved and made available only to one customer or one group of people, meaning that there is no interaction between the services they are running on their infrastructure and the services others are running, because those services would be running on a totally separate infrastructure. So with the private cloud, you have the guarantee that your services run in a completely isolated environment. You can also mix public and private cloud approaches to build an hybrid cloud. In an hybrid cloud, you would rely on a private cloud services for your core services, those that have the highest level of security requirements, those that you really rely upon in your daily activities. And then for services that are not used so frequently, or to absorb some peaks of activity, make use of public cloud services. But your main activity would rely on a private cloud environment. It also happens that some organizations and bodies work together to build their own cloud that they will share between themselves, not with others, and so they build what we call a community cloud. So it's their infrastructure which is shared between a group of stakeholders and not made available outside, but managed as purely cloud services for to meet the needs of the members of the community. And finally, just for vocabulary, when we talk about personal cloud, it refers to the cloud services a person is really using. So my personal cloud is made of the services I'm using from Google Drive and from Dropbox and maybe from my account I have on the Office 365 and this kind of thing. So the personal cloud is not a perspective of the cloud provider, but more a perspective of the cloud consumer.